decided to get in the truck and go down to this public land rather than trying to go behind the house again. I just feel like I kind of maybe interrupted them a little bit too much this morning. So they said the best time to hunt today is about 12 to 3. So I didn't bring a stand or nothing. I'm just going to go walk around a little bit in a spot I haven't walked yet this year. Just kind of see what it looks like and see this public land. When I moved down to South Carolina, I looked almost right away for public land and I couldn't find any. And then I got to talking to some local guys, and I had lived down here for about 3 years. And before I found this property, it's about, I think it's either 2,600 or about 3,000 acres, somewhere's in there. So it's a decent chunk. But I didn't discover it until the season was almost over last year. So I went out there, we sat like twice, but it was like within days of the season being over, so I didn't really get a chance to check it out, especially this time of year. So they did some logging on it on one side of it, we seen a little while ago, and I've got a different spot in mind I want to go walk and check out, but I am bringing my bow. I'm gonna go hunting, but I'm gonna scout. I'm just gonna kind of walk and be kind of just gentle through the woods and see what happens. So last time when I was there last year, in December and January, I think it was January, the very last couple of days of January there for deer hunting, there was a lot of good sign. And no, it was December. It's the last of December. I'm sorry. That's when the season closes. But anyway, regardless. There's a lot of good deer sign in there, so I'm anxious to see what it looks like this time. So we'll see what happens. Well, I just pulled into this public land here. Got my truck parked in one of the little areas. It's supposed to rain later tonight. This is more of scouting again for me, first time being back in here, and we're hoping, because it's gonna rain later tonight, that possibly the deer will move early. So I don't got to stand or anything. I'm just gonna walk and see if there's anything to be seen and kind of where the deer might be at, and if they are moseying, or even if I kick up a deer. I'd be just curious I don't know where they're bedding back here. I don't really know where their food source. I mean, I've seen oaks, but I really don't know how they're patterned back here. So just trying to learn a little bit of stuff. I'm heading back out. I was hoping it would stop raining a little bit more than what it has, but I'll take it. It has. It's about 4 o'clock. I did have to wait a little longer than I kind of would have liked to have been out in the woods. But I'm going to do a little bit different. Yesterday I did a lot of walking. I probably walked 5 or so miles yesterday through this little area that I had been in last year. But I'm going to try, I brought the deer stand with me, and I'm going to try to just sit and just kind of just walk and try to find the first kind of sign, or maybe a good place I see that they're eating or something along them lines, and where they've been feeding at. And I'm just gonna set up and just sit and see what happens, because I hate not knowing where these deer are at different times. That's kind of something that bugs me in the back of my mind, knowing that they're there, but I've not hunted it. So back home in Michigan, we used to hunt pretty faithfully to a certain piece of public land, and for the most part we knew where the deer were bedding. We knew where the deer were, where they were going to be at different winds and different temperatures and things and weather. So I don't have that here, so I'm wanting to learn it though, so we'll see what happens. So I'm parked right near the road. It's kind of weird. This is a Duke Energy land that they've just put it in. The management
game wildlife management area, and I think it's a couple thousand acres, and so there's a lot of access points that are really, you're not allowed to drive back in here, but there's like little parking areas along the road. So, but I'm gonna walk into here. This is very close to the road, but I don't want to neglect the access points. Too. This is probably, I'd say, close to a mile from where I was yesterday, and you know, the deer. There's a couple tire tracks here and there, but season's been going for about 2 weeks, and I don't think a lot of people hunt this early because of the heat, and I'm sure a lot of people won't be out tonight in this rain. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna go sit down and see if there's any deer in the woods, and like I said, right next to the road, so I hear, probably be hearing cars and stuff, but the deer, they don't care. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm heading out to the public land again. I'll probably try to sit close to where I was when it was raining a couple days ago. It's Thursday, the 23rd, and it's almost 2 o'clock right now. It's supposed to be a good evening for hunting, so I'm going to try to get in there as quiet as I can and get set. But this morning, I wasn't able to make it. My wife had a doctor's appointment, so and it was during the morning hours of hunting, so I just didn't go out, and so I'm gonna go ahead and go tonight, and I'll probably end up going tomorrow morning and evening. So, or not evening, I can't go the evening, I'll probably have to go tomorrow morning if I don't get something tonight, which I hope I do. It'd be nice, but we'll see what happens. Pretty day out.
Somewhere up there. That's the only one on the ground, so the deer something must be eating them up anyway. This is one of the access roads, and the only vehicles allowed out here are the Duke Power Plant vehicles, and that's their barns over there too, but this is all public. Pretty neat. They got some good ponds in here. I just ran into a fella. He was walking back here. He had just got out, and his wife texted him and said she's having car trouble, so he's having to leave. But he said he just got done walking through all that, so it's kind of good to know, because he may have, which is still pretty early, but he may have kind of thrown them deer off a little bit. So I'm thinking about heading that way. That's where I come from. I was just a couple yards into there when I seen him. So anyway, I'm gonna try to see what's gonna happen here.